Look at that. We're here. We're here. People were wondering where are do they have electricity?
No, the one thing we had was electricity. Everything else kind of went off the rails there.
So we're here to talk electric trucks today, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think Ford had some fun news, right?
Yeah, I don't know about fun, but
It was fun for me.
hey, maybe they're just trying to break even, right? I don't think this is going to do it, but baby steps, baby steps.
They have a $3 billion threshold to hit. I'm not sure that the extra 4,000 here is going to quite cover that.
Well, maybe there's some extensive marketing research that went into that decision where if you price it just a little higher, more people will buy it and your profit margins will come naturally, right?
Yeah, sure. I think they want to push everyone into the XLT instead of the Pro because they didn't change the price of that. So now they're like
I'll share a
3,000 apart.
I'll share a crazy concept with you along the lines of what Justin just said. There was an art dealer who in the Atlantic City area in the 70s and 80s. His name was Reese Paley, and he had a shop on the boardwalk. And, you know, he sold Hummel figurines and art and this and that. And his theory was that if something was sitting and it wasn't selling, it's because it wasn't priced high enough. Okay. And so he would increase the price. And you know, somebody would walk in and they'd show, oh my God, well, that's $20,000. It's got to be worth that. And I don't want you to think he was successful or anything, but he rented 2 747s to take his best clients to Paris with him to celebrate his birthday one year. So apparently there's something to that theory that, yes, let's announce that the Ford Lightning is $40,000. And then within 14, 15 months, you know, we're not selling enough of them because people think it's too cheap. It's now 62 grand. You know, maybe now they'll sell dozens more.
Now, we're also going to be talking about the Cybertruck, and Justice, we'll be relying on you as the resident Cybertruck expert. But let's not kid around here. We know that the Cybertruck's not going to go on sale for $1 under 60 grand. I bet they're going to say it's coming soon for like $49,900, but then we're never going to see it. Fight me, Justice.
No, I agree. There's no way it's going to hit. I know their announcement price is $39,900 for the single motor. I don't. Yeah,
but why even make a single motor Cybertruck?
Well, I mean, the towing capacity is still at the Lightning towing capacity, even with the single motor. The payload is still 1,500 pounds more than the Lightning, but even then, like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I'd say add $10,000 to their original prices, and you're probably a lot closer. So I think it is possible to hit a $49,900 single motor, $59,900 dual, and then the $79,900 tri-motor. I think that's possible. I know you think I'm low, but I think
we can respectfully disagree here.
Yeah, but I think with the recent Tesla pricing and everything they've been doing and their developments, I think it is definitely possible. And now they're talking about paint, so we'll see.
They're going to paint the stainless steel.
Well, it's never been stainless steel. It is its own metal, believe it or not. But yeah, it looks like stainless steel, but stainless steel would be too heavy.
So it's not a DeLorean?
Yeah, it's not a DeLorean. It's not stainless steel. They actually did create their own brand new metal for the Cybertruck.
Now, this is actually a serious question I've got for you, Justice, and I don't know if we have the answer. And I'm not being snarky, believe it or not. But when was the Cybertruck first announced? Was it 2019 or 2018?
2019.
Okay.
I've had my reservation today is 1,150 days.
Well, my question's actually, so do we know why it was delayed so long? Was it because of battery constraints or the difficulty of making a truck that's built out of custom metal, apparently, or what?
Well, I think it was delayed partially because of the pandemic and material supplies. But I do think that then they sort of shifted into this concept of, well, actually, let's make it the flagship. And that's kind of what they're doing with it now. So all the new architecture, the 48-volt batteries, the 1 gigawatt charging, all that is, they're sort of making this their flagship vehicle. And I think a lot of that stemmed from when they had to sort of pause it, and then they said, "Hey, let's just make this the standard of all Teslas from here on. This is what we're basing it on and going forward." And they've kind of said that this is going to be their rollout of all their new architecture and everything. And then there was definitely a long delay in getting the gigapresses because
well. So 3 big strengths that the F-150 Lightning has. It's familiarity for fleet operators. It's available now, and it's capable of vehicle-to-load charging and home backup. Is the Cybertruck going to have that? Because I've seen mixed answers and speculation online.
I don't have an answer for that because I have to say, yeah, it's all speculation at this point. There's been absolutely no announcement for it. I sure would like to see it.
So other than looking a hell of a lot cooler, my Ioniq 5, like one of the only benefits it has over the Tesla Model Y, other than looking cooler, is I've got vehicle to load usage that I actually take advantage of quite often. That's why I can work on the road so much. I power my laptop in my car and other devices. Now, Tesla so far has not brought that to any of their models. Is this probably because they've got their own electrical infrastructure in the Model 3, the Model Y, etc., and it's just not wired, for lack of a better technical term, to be able to do that? Or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they're wired to be able to do that in the first place. Why they at this point haven't changed over, I couldn't say. Like, I don't know if it's a cost thing that they're trying to run to the bottom as fast as they can to. Like the Model Y just overtook the Camrys as the best-selling vehicle, and I don't know if that's like they want to keep it there and it would cost too much. I have no idea why It's a conundrum. I haven't seen anyone at Tesla answer.
Do we have any idea, any legitimate idea, other than corporate speak, as to when there will actually be a Cybertruck for sale to the general public?
They're saying at the end of this year, and I believe that only in now there have been spotted 7 different prototypes in Northern California with various changes. They are clearly fine-tuning it now. That's a lot of models to roll off, and with different changes, from the single windshield wiper to a normal windshield wiper, the mirrors, the bed, the tonneau cover, all that. So I do believe that they'll make some this year, but even they're saying limited at the end of this year, and next year is when they ramp up. But they just had their 3rd gigapress delivered to Austin for the Cybertruck, so it's coming.
How many orders or reservations do they have for the Cybertruck? I mean, after all, you've only had yours for 1,150 days today. So how many orders do they have? And when could someone like you, who's only been waiting 1,150 days, when would someone like you actually, I don't know, see your truck?
How many orders they have versus how many real orders is a different question, because they have over 1 million orders.
Okay.
Which is just nuts. And like, come on, most of those people are going to get into something else long before they get onto the list. I got them relatively early, but even by my estimate, end of 2024, beginning of 2025 is my estimate for me, even though I'm that early.
I'm trying to turn off that noise.
I don't take me wrong when I say this, because I don't mean it as negatively as it's going to sound, but you're out of your mind.
Hey, so I mean, here's my thing with it. This is why I have a Model 3, right? I actually got into the Model 3 so I'd have something to trade when the Cybertruck comes out. Because if you have a non-Tesla, trading to Teslas, you're going to get garbage value out of it.
Yeah.
They're not going to pay you. You just sell it off on your own. But I got a Tesla so I can go ahead and trade and be ready there. But like people like me, we already knew we were going to wait in the first place. Has Tesla ever hit a time goal? No, they have not. You know, there's normal person time and Elon time. Yes, Justin.
You know, there was a time when I was a high school science teacher a while back, believe it or not, you guys. And, you know, I had these students that would show up late to class, and you know what they would say? They'd say, Mr. Fisher, you knew I was going to be late. I'm always late. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. Oh, man. So I just checked it out on CarEdge, Car Search, the best place to search for vehicles. And I found that in the United States right now, there's 2,100 F-150 Lightnings on sale, that excludes in transit. So, I mean, Justice, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Make the case. So if someone needs an electric truck in 2023, why should they not? Why should they wait for the Cybertruck? Like, what does it offer that the F-150 Lightning doesn't offer?
Oh, it's going to offer an awful lot more, including range, towing capacity, payload, bed length. That's a big one for, I talked to a lot of members. The Lightning maxes out at 5.5 feet. Every variation of the Cybertruck is 6.5 feet. So that's going to be a consideration for people. Now, what you're saying is they need it in 2023. Well, then don't wait for the Cybertruck, because I am completely realistic, and I think there's a lot of people on this waiting list that are more like me than not. We know we're waiting. Like I said, I'm really realistically expecting 2025, and I'm putting money aside for it. Like I have been. I do think I might be able to pay cash by the time I actually am able to get one, because I've been paying myself a payment ever since.
Did you have to put a deposit down when you placed your reservation?
Yeah, it's $100. It's not a real deposit.
Okay, but yeah, wait a second. If there's 1.5 million reservations, that's $1.5 million, or more than that, isn't it? It's $15 million. So that's it. Might be not.
Wouldn't that be $100 million?
I have a calculator if you need it.
I mean, $100 times 1 million would be $100 million.
Okay, so
that is how decimals work.
So that would be $150 million. So even though the $100 is non-trivial to you, the fact that Elon has been getting to work with $150 million of people's money for a truck that may never come out. I know you're convinced it will. You know, and you've been kind enough and gracious enough and willing enough to wait another 2 years if you have to. There's a certain lunacy attached to that.
Well, but so here's how I know it'll come out. If you have any idea how much a gigapress costs, and the fact that they have three of them for the Cybertruck, these are like $100 million gigapresses.
Oh, so you kids have already paid for one of them gigapresses.
Yeah, and they have 3 of them. And they have 3 of them just for the Cybertruck. They can't afford to not produce the Cybertruck at this point.
Okay.
I have a prediction partly rooted in what I've seen from Tesla leaks and, you know, what you just mentioned, how many gigapresses they have, and partly just my pessimism. I fear, because I want the Cybertruck to succeed, I fear that it's going to end up being a low volume seller for like 5 years, like through the 2020s. Tesla might even want that to be the case if their margins aren't working out like they thought it would for the Cybertruck. I hope that's not the case. But how crazy am I, Justice, for thinking that it might be difficult to produce more than 50,000 Cybertrucks a year? And that would be an achievement considering we're at 0 right now. But when you got that many pre-orders,
We're at 8 now, not 0. We're at 8. They have produced 8 of them.
that's almost 2 hands. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how they'd be able to ramp up beyond 30 to 50,000 per year in this decade while I mean, prove me wrong, Tesla. You've done it before. We'll see. I don't know.
I do believe I agree with James here. Their capacity to produce them will be their defining factor. I think otherwise the demand will outstrip everybody else's EV truck.
I think it's going to be an amazing truck. It's just,
Yeah.
will they be able to make them in the volume that they need to, and what will it be priced at, and when will it come? Those are my questions. I do think it's going to take a crap on the F-150 Lightning. But what if the Cybertruck is not priced below $79,900 until 2027? I could see that being a realistic scenario if they roll out the quad motor. I believe there's a tri-motor too.
The tri-motor is their top.
They're going to start with those variants, aren't they? And those
yeah, which is why I think I'm getting mine, because that's what I ordered, was a tri-motor.
Okay. Yeah, but what if they, like, I don't know. We don't need to get into your finances, Justice, but I fear that they will.
Yeah, I may not be able to afford it. We'll see when it actually comes. I may have to say, you know what, drop me down to a lower model. I don't know. But with the way the Ford is going, let's say they do 79. Okay, well, the Ford will still be more expensive. I mean, the top level
I'm not buying one of those either.
Lightning, the Platinum is already $98,000, $98,700, so almost $99,000.
I test drove one.
And I don't think Tesla's going to hit that at all.
I mean, I wouldn't buy an F-150 Lightning for over, well, I mean, I'm not buying one, period, but I wouldn't buy one for over 70 grand, and that's getting very hard to do, as we've seen. It starts at about 61,000, but most variants are over 70,000 now. And I test drove one before these price increases. I test drove one when technically the F-150 Lightning started in the 40s. Wow, so long ago. But the dealer had marked it up by $40,000. So that's something we haven't even really touched on yet. Ford marks up the F-150 Lightnings like crazy. I know the management has tried to get a hold of that, but they failed. They will probably continue to fail. So the only F-150 Lightning on sale within a 50-mile radius of my home was on sale for 140 grand.
I have a question for both of you. What if at Tesla, there's never really ever been the thought of producing the Cybertruck in large numbers? What if this whole thing is just a sham? Yeah, there'll be a Cybertruck. Okay, we have 1.5 million orders, and it'll take us 30 years to fill those 1.5 million orders because we're going to produce 30,000 a year.
I'm going to side with Justice here. What if, I like how I get to pick sides.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's why we have guests. You can flip back and forth. Ray and I will stay on our sides, but you can.
I would actually say there's an equal chance that Ford was playing that same game and was surprised at the popularity of the F-150 Lightning. And that's why in the past few months, we've heard Ford say, time and time again, we're bumping up production for 2023 for the F-150 Lightning. We're building a new plant in Tennessee for the F-150 Lightning. I bet Ford was more likely to be saying that, at least at the management level, than Tesla. But what do you think, Justice?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said already, this is going to be their flagship. I think they do want these out there on the road, because I think most of their plans after the Cybertruck are based on the Cybertruck. So I think they want this out there. They want it everywhere. They want, as Elon said, to change the look of the road. So much so that it'll be exactly what I heard yesterday. Oh, Teslas are so boring. Every other car on the road's a Tesla. We want this other new, beautiful car. And you go, wow, that's a huge statement. And I bet Elon loves that statement. They're boring because it's everything you see. And he wants that with the Cybertruck. I think Tesla definitely wants this to be out there and for everyone else to be trying to catch up. I think that is their plan. I do believe that.
Now, I'm a fan of the very polarizing styling. I hope it becomes reality. Ray, what do you think about the looks of the Cybertruck?
Well, I remember a Mel Gibson movie from I guess it was the 80s, Mad Max Beyond
Yeah.
Thunderdome, and apparently some of the designers at Tesla were fans of that movie, and so I look at it and I think to myself, okay, we're getting ready for the apocalypse, and this is just the truck to get us through it. Um, you know, I think it is incredibly ugly and similar in the sense of a troll doll, that it's so ugly it's desirable. Uh, it's polarizing to say the least. But I personally see, I don't see the aesthetics of it and go, oh my god, yeah, that's sexy. I gotta have that thing. It's, oh my god, it's a beast, but it'll get me through the apocalypse.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, that's what I see when I look at it.
Now, I wonder if there's going to be a mini Cybertruck, because the Cybertruck is reported to be 84 inches in width, and that's
Yep.
going to make fitting two vehicles in any garage. I don't even have a garage, but fitting two vehicles in any garage difficult at 84 inches in width. That is wider than most trucks. I don't think that's wider than the Hummer EV, but that's just a ridiculous topic on its own. Yeah, so I wonder if there would ever be a smaller variant for 10,000 less that more people may actually want. I'm not talking like a Ford Ranger size. I'm talking like just a bit smaller.
Well, and I know after the initial release, Elon came out and said it's probably going to have to be 30% smaller all the way around. Like it's
30% is a
too,
lot, though.
and it seems by the prototypes that they put out there that they have abandoned that idea. 'Cause
Yeah, that's what I was
it
gonna
is
say.
not smaller at all in any
Yeah.
way. And I don't know if there was pushback from the people who ordered, or they figured we have
The
1.5 million
gigapresses.
people who ordered at this size. Maybe we don't have to worry about shrinking it, or there was logistic problems. I don't know. But one of the very first things in an interview after the announcement that Elon said was, it will have to probably be smaller because you can't get these into your standard garage. And I, of course, do worry as an apartment dweller in a smaller parking space, what I am going to do if it's too big for my space.
Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. You're going to move to a bigger apartment complex by then.
Just
I
park on the
probably
curb,
will.
Justin, just
I
park
am
on the
actually
curb.
kind of looking, and might move to one that has a lot of charging spaces. That
There
may
you
be
have
an
it.
actual consideration for me when moving to a condo or another apartment or whatever. I'm not going to move to a house with California prices, but wherever else I go. Like that. How about this, Justin? The Cyber El Camino.
I'm a fan.
My
That would be
first
awesome.
car was an El Camino, so I would buy that too.
I wonder when we're going to learn more about the Model Y and Model 3 refresh. I wonder if
That's
they would.
coming this year, right? Like
Yeah,
in a few months.
I'm just starting to think what other things Tesla's going to have their money, time, just everything committed to in the next 12 months. Like they're going to be working on the refresh there. Giga Berlin is really ramping up. Giga Texas trying to get the Cybertruck going. There's a lot going on. I hope it actually happens by the end of the year, but I'm going to call this a 2024 release. We'll see.
Yeah, well, the Cybertruck is a 2024. It's not a this year. Like, yes, they're going to produce some this year. I'm guessing they'll probably produce a couple thousand at the most
Oh, I
towards
don't
the
think
end
they're
of the
doing
year.
that.
Oh, I think so. I think probably literally like 2,000. And that's about. And you'll have the Investor Day event. You'll have the big show of people picking up their Cybertrucks, and it'll only be those people who are there who are getting their trucks. And then next year you'll see the ramp up.
We'll have to revisit that because I think less than 100 this year.
Oh, really? Okay.
As they're tooling the giga presses and all that, they're going to need to make some to make sure they've got their production line working. Oh man, imagine quality control issues with a truck made out of custom metal. Ooh,
Yeah,
that sounds tough, right, Ray?
there's some questions. What happens when it gets, if it gets destroyed? Okay, if this is a proprietary metal, and it
Yeah,
is, I mean, Tesla did copyright it, so or file for a patent. Like, okay, so if this is custom metal, you're not taking it to a body shop, right?
you're just
Like,
pressing a whole new one and saying
I don't
screw
know
the
how that.
environment, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I
How
mean,
do you
that's
recycle a custom metal that's cold pressed apparently? I don't know. Problems that I'm glad I don't have to answer.
yeah. All right, guys. So, Justin, did you have anything else? Because we're about hitting up our time. It's the end of the quarter. I know we are super busy. And I got lots of members that I have to help
Yeah.
today buy their vehicles today, so they can actually try to get a good deal, not on a Cybertruck or F-150 Lightning.
Yeah, if you might be in the market for a new vehicle in the next few months, take advantage of 25% off of CarEdge data and CarEdge coach through today. Deal
Yes.
ends today. And you can also get $100 off of any extended warranty product through today. So even if you've already bought your dream car, maybe you've got one of those 8 Cybertrucks and you're just not telling us, you can probably get an extended warranty. Can't guarantee we'd approve that model at this point, but extended warranty. Shop around with the CarEdge.
Oh my God.
I didn't tell you I have one of them, did I?
Nope.
It's a secret.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I hope that there really is a Cybertruck in somebody's future. And the bigger hope for me is that I live long enough to see that future. So that I can congratulate you, Justice, when you get your Cybertruck.
Yeah, I hope you see that day too, Ray. I will drive it over to DC and take you on a drive around.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for being here. We will be back on Tuesday at the same time. Wednesday with a very special guest.
Ooh.
One that we may know, we may not know. I don't know. We'll be talking about charging and chargers on
Ooh.
Wednesday.
Yes.
So that'll be a fun show. Tuesday, I have no idea what we're talking about. We'll figure that out. Right.
Well, we got time. It's only Friday. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So everyone have a great day. Hop over to chat if you're looking to buy something today. I'm on all day. So thank you guys.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. For those of you who can't get enough of this nonsense, Zach and I will be back tomorrow night on the main channel for Saturday night with Ray and Zach, or Zach and whatever. We'll be there.